Hey everyone, it's me Preeti. Today I'm going to teach you how to separate the zero numbers with non-zero numbers. So in a given array, so imagine you have an input of 0, 12, 13, 0, 3, 4, 0, 6. So here you can see the combination of both zero numbers and non-zero numbers as well. But my agenda is to separate that non-zero numbers and zero numbers. So non-zero numbers I'm printing in the front of the array and zero numbers I'm just printing at the end of the array. So the thing is, the logic is very simple. I'm just separating the non-zero elements and I'm placing it at the front, and the zero elements I'm placing it at the end. So you can do it vice versa as well. You can print the zero numbers in the beginning of the array and the non-zero numbers at the end of the array as well. So it is simply based on where you want to place the non-zero elements, right? It's just incrementing the count where you don't find zero. Okay, so whatever you can see on the screen is the logic of how to separate the zero numbers and the non-zero numbers in a given array and print them separately, right? So I'm going to implement this logic quickly. It would take hardly 2 minutes, but I'll explain each and every line. So that is the main concept of me explaining each and every line in this tutorials, right? Okay, please do watch carefully. I'm just taking off everything and I'm keeping initialization and declaration of an array as it is. Okay, so I'll just take off everything including the declaration of an variable as well. So for now I have only the initialization and declaration. So I have 0 at the beginning, 12, 13, again 0, 3, 4, again 0 and 6. So my agenda is to place all of these zeros at the end of an array. Okay, so initially what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna traverse the array and I'll check whether there's a presence of zero elements and whether there's a presence of non-zero elements. If there is a presence of non-zero elements, then I'm gonna store all of those non-zero elements at the beginning of the array, at the first for loop. Okay, so do watch carefully. Now I'm just iterating, traversing an array. Okay, so what I'm checking here is if any of the a of I means if any of the element in an array is not equal to 0, yes, then I'm gonna store it in a array back. Int count is equals to 0, yes. So I'm gonna store it in an array back and I'm gonna increment the count, that is a of count will be equal to a of 5. So I'm gonna store that non-zero element into the array and I'll increment the count, right? So when this for loop iterates completely, it can completely find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 non-zero elements. So this 5 non-zero elements will be initially placed at this a of count. So why is it happening? Why all of the non-zero elements are getting printed at the first? Because I'm iterating this full for loop for the first time and I'm performing if a of I is not equal to 0, then store all of these non-zero elements into the index positions of a of I. So when it encounters 12, it is gonna store 12 first and it will increment the count. When it encounters 13, it's gonna store 13 next to 12 index position. Yes. After it encounters 3, it's gonna store 3 after 13. In the same, it is going to store 12, 13, 3, 4 and 6. But when it encounters 0, it is not going to enter into if condition. Okay. So after for loop, I'm performing one very simple operation while. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. While what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the length of the count. So this one, if the length of the count is less than the real length of the array, it means that the index position values are empty and it is not equal to that length. The count is not equal to actual array length. So I'm going to check if a count is less than a dot length. If it is less, so it is going to enter this loop, right? At that time, I'm going to store the rest of the index positions with 0 and I'll increment the count. So once the count condition is reached, once the count value and a of dot length value is same, it comes out of the while loop and all the rest of the index positions will be filled with 0. I hope you understood. Initially when it encounters if condition, it is going to store all of its non-zero numbers in the first index positions consecutively. Okay, so when it encounters 0, it never enters into if condition. It encounters 12, 12 will be stored first, again 13 will be stored, again 3, 4 and 6. So this is how you can see. First, at this position, all of these elements will be stored. Again, when it comes out of the for loop, it goes to the while loop. So the length of the count will be anyways 5, but the length of the real array is actually 7, right? So since count is less than a dot length, it is gonna store the rest of the 3 index positions with 0. So that is how you can actually store the 0 elements at the end of the array. I hope you understood, right? So finally, I'm printing this out. Yes, by iterating a loop. So if you want to print an array element, you should traverse and print, or else you cannot print that. Okay, so I'm gonna give space so that to have that print statement perfect on the console. I'm taking off ln. So I have already explained why you should take out ln. It's because to get the output this way, in the horizontal way, but not the vertical way. Okay, so I'm gonna run. Yes, so I hope you saw that. So the logic implementation was very simpler, I hope, because the explanation I made it very perfect. So I hope you did like the video. If you did not understand or something, please do let me know in the comments so that I'll come back in a better way. So I'll understand why you didn't understand, and I'll make sure you will understand perfectly. So if you did like the video, please do share and subscribe, and please do share among your friends as well and tell them how easy it is to code, right? So thank you very much for watching.